I think we will be right if we say that the upcoming battle, titanic, battle between Ruto and Raila is a titanic war. There is a saying, I think it is a Swahili saying, that two fools can stay together, but two clever people cannot stay together. None of them is as gentle as Kibaki, and none of them would want to avoid a good fight the way Uhuru did. This is a fight that one must win, and whoever wins, the loser will lose completely and permanently. In Kenya, when you speak of anything, people listen to you, and when they see you are leaning to one side more than the other side, they'll start giving you names. You'll even hear you have been paid, you have been bribed, you have been whatever. But the truth of the matter is that apart from Okambo, no person can sincerely judge equally 50-50. The closest anybody can come is 50 plus 1. So this thing of saying that you come out and apportion blame or apportion praise equally, it can only happen with Okambo. Ruto started off politics being a loyal person who would, like stairs, rise up going to the left, then rise up going to the right, zigzag that way up to the top. But one day, Raila told him not to wait to be. I remember the day when both Raila and Ruto were made Kalenjin elders. It is Raila who told him not to do the Kibaki type of loyal deputy. He's the one who told him, who taught him how to be ambitious, aggressive. And just like you see the vice chancellor of the university, when he goes home to the nearest primary school, he meets the head teacher of that school who taught him. So the vice chancellor is a vice chancellor because of the head teacher, but you see he's now the head teacher of the university. So Raila taught Ruto, and Ruto has become the vice chancellor. And Raila, by the way, Raila is a very good Kiganjo person, the policeman who trains other policemen but finds it hard to run a police station. Ask any police officer, will tell you. We have some very good instructors in Kiganjo who can teach you how to run a police station. But when he comes to the field and is given a police station to run, he'll mess up with it. Raila has come to realize that he can't get the big price. So he has to negotiate a way of coming up to the big price. In the year 1997, he negotiated for cooperation. It was called cooperation between NDP and KANU. It led to merger. So he became part of the ruling class. In the year 2007, he used mass action. But one thing is forgetting that 25 years later, he still thinks that what he did well in 2007, 2007, that is 15 years ago. He thinks that what succeeded 15 years ago will succeed now. Things have changed. They may still be the same, Actually, even in the new constitution, they are permitted for mass action, but I'll come to that. Then in the year 2017, he came up with handshake. If we take 97 or 17, usually he times the second government, when the president is back on the second term. But this time the age is not on his side. Maybe that is why he's bringing it up early. And he's also realizing that, he's realizing late, I can say, that such things as selection of the IEBC, although to me, it is too much fight over nothing, because they are fighting over the selecting team. Now, they are not even talking of the candidates themselves. Now, the selecting team is the one who is to determine who will be the chairman and the commissioners. But this is a fight over egos. They themselves have declared, although not directly as I'm doing it, but they themselves have declared that whoever pays the piper determines the tune. So whoever has a say in the new commissioners will have that psychological impact. That is why they are fighting. Another reason why they are fighting is that if you look at them, their history, if you are to wait for the time when the official campaign starts, the two have already proven to you that you will be as irrelevant as one Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. The two have taught us in the past that for you to be relevant in the next election, you have to start campaigning immediately after the last election. So they will, even after the new IEBC commissioners have been selected or even sworn into office, they'll still look for something to. And what Raila is really fighting for, you have seen it through even his people. When Ruto was in Nyanza, saying, sit down and talk to your brother. Well, as of today, 27th January 2023, Ruto has said no handshake. Raila says it's not even a handshake. But Raila is a handshake. Now that we have tumepaka handshake matope, it will come up in a different form. Remember, it was cooperation, it was nusu mkate, it became handshake, and he wants it to be in any other form. But Ruto, knowing him the way we know him, he will not accept that. Let us look at a fight. We call it tournament in boxing, where we have quarterfinals. Then those who win in quarterfinals go to semifinals. Those who go to semifinals, they go to. Both have made sure that in their background, and any person in the country who crosses their path is finished completely. 90% chances are that Ruto will finish Raila. I said 90%. I could even say 99%. But you see, there is always that 1%. If you look at their background, when I was working for the special branch, a person who used to be feared more than anybody else outside the Odinga family was Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. I used to shake when I would hear that Anyang' Nyong'o is in town, even though I could not put a face to the name. Anyang' Nyong'o once joined Charity Ngilu and left Raila. Raila finished him until he went back begging. James Orengo did the same. He was finished. Now these two elderly statesmen have gone back to their counties to run the counties, and from a distance beg Ruto to accommodate Raila. Ruto on his side, he has also not an amateur. You remember Isaac Ruto, Bomet. He was I think he was on the same level with William Ruto. He was on the same level with William Ruto, but he was so finished that they brought in a novice, Laboso. Now they have brought in Professor Chepkok, and Isaac Ruto has realized it, and that is why most likely he's going to be the next governor to finish the second term after the Professor Barchok finishes his. Let us go to Eldoret. Eldoret is there is a political heavyweight called Buzeki. He has been finished. Imagine he has been finished by a person called Kotimoja. Kotimoja was called Kotimoja because he was so poor that he could not afford 2 courts. He only had 1 court. Now he's the governor. And if Buzeki doesn't fall in line, things will go that way. Lastly, the two, Raila and Ruto, many people do not know that they come from royal family. They trace their lineage to their tribal founders. We have 3 types of Luos. We have the Ugandan Luos, who are called Japathola. And then we have the Kenyan Luo called Jaramogi. And then we have the Tanzanian Luo at Shirati in Mara region. They are called Jakowiny. Although Jakowiny, I'm told, also is not a polite word in Luo. Now, Ramogi, the founder of the Kenyan Luo, is a direct descendant of Raila. If you go to Bondo, where Abednego Oginga Odinga is buried, you'll find that they have written, just like in the Bible where they have written Adam was the father of so and so up to Jesus. That is how they've written from Ramogi to Adonijah Abednego Oginga Odinga, and obviously Raila. On the other hand, William Kipchirchir Samuel Arap Ruto is a direct descendant of Samoei, the fellow who used to give the British hard time. They are from the Talam clan, and this Talam clan is the one that used to give the British hard time until they were distributed to other places. So you'll find that if you go to Kipsigis, you'll find parts of the Talam clan. You go to Nandi, you go to Keio, that way. And that is why, talking as a prince, William Arap Ruto, there are times he can tell Gideon Moi, Gideon Kipsiele, he can tell Kipsiele anything that any other person could not do it. He could also talk to Isaac Ruto anything that no other person can do it. So this is a titanic fight. This is a fight that definitely will, if you ask me, this is the one that is going to end Raila's political life. If you look at the way, the kind of crowd that is turning up to meet him, the effect that is having, and then there is also other people who are also saying that this Mandamano is also disrupting their businesses. So you find that, and then the history, Raila has a history of whenever he has that, he is the only one who benefits from the fruits. So chances of people living, they say, ameacho kwa mata, are very, very high.